Google is making some big promises with Stadia, but I doubt it will replace video game consoles anytime soon. People can be slow to adopt new tech, internet speeds and data caps still pose a barrier, and Stadia won't be available worldwide at launch, though more regions will be added in 2020. But even if Stadia fails, there are still plenty of ways it can make an impact on how we play games, regardless of whether we're talking about it 3, 5, or 10 years from now. Stadia's very existence is enough to put some extra pressure on competing companies. We're probably still a console generation or two away from a completely digital gaming world, but some companies are already catering to digital fans and those who care more about access to games than the platform they're playing on. Microsoft, for example, continues to push its Play Anywhere initiative with services like xCloud and bringing Xbox Game Pass to PC. Their focus seems to be less on what system you're playing on and more about getting you into the Microsoft ecosystem overall. Sure, E3 2019 wasn't the first time we heard about Project xCloud, but the fact that Google is now a player in the streaming space puts pressure on xCloud. So it's no surprise that when Spencer was discussing the future of the Xbox brand, it had as much airtime as Scarlett.
Whether you're using a console in our data center or your console at home, this October, you'll be able to use our hybrid gaming cloud to play your games wherever you go.
Sony already has its PlayStation Now service, which accounted for 52% of all game subscription service revenue in Q3 of 2018. Stadia's entry into the scene might see a renewed PR push around PlayStation Now, especially with the news that Sony is working with Microsoft on the logistics of their cloud-based gaming plans. Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo have operated essentially in a vacuum for the last 3 generations, and this is what makes Google's upcoming presence so intriguing. The future console wars won't be about who has the best hardware and the best exclusive games anymore. It will be about who provides the best service in terms of volume, streaming quality, and price. We've seen entertainment in general shift towards competing subscription models, so video games seem like the next logical frontier for that model becoming the main way to play. If Google Stadia doesn't interest gamers yet, perhaps it will create a niche for itself as a convenient host for other streaming and subscription services. During Ubisoft's E3 2019 conference, it announced Uplay Plus, a new $15 a month subscription service for all the studio's games, available for both PC and Google Stadia. We could see other subscription services follow suit, such as EA's EA Access. Maybe the future of video games is subscribing to your favorite developers and publishers through Stadia. In that sense, Google Stadia may fill a growing need to consolidate subscription services into one place without needing a specific type of hardware. There's an old wartime saying that goes, "The first one out the door gets shot." But Google is far from first when it comes to game streaming. OnLive, Gamefly, and plenty of others have tried their hands at game streaming long before the Stadia Connect event gave us details on what to expect from its service, which will launch this November. When it comes to console companies, Sony's aforementioned PlayStation Now service has been running since 2014 and now offers over 750 games to those who pay $20 USD a month to play on PS4 or PC. Google is better positioned for cloud streaming than anyone because it already has the massive infrastructure required to support such an effort, plenty of predecessors it can learn from, and perhaps more importantly, it can afford to lose money on this. So while we can make arguments that it could fail, we can equally make arguments that point to its potential success. 4K hasn't been demoed yet, but Stadia is running Doom Eternal at 1080p, 60 FPS without any hiccups. And when it comes to satisfying customers, convenience is key. Google Stadia seems to offer that in spades, and it has the brand recognition to garner some trust from the community. Even if Google Stadia is merely a footnote in video game history, it could still be a catalyst for other companies to step up their streaming game and intrigue gamers enough to position streaming as a viable and even primary option going into the next gen and beyond. And for more on Google Stadia, you're already in the right place. IGN.